WCBI News at 5 starts now.
It's day 3 in the search of a missing Alabama man. Thanks for joining us tonight at 5. Several agencies from North Mississippi, they're helping the Monroe County Sheriff's Department searching for 48-year-old Roger Taylor. Here's a picture of Mr. Taylor right here. He was last seen in Greenwood Springs on Monday in Monroe County. Police say he was wearing a green shirt and pants, and he also had on a cap. Monroe County Sheriff Cecil Cantrell says that the man's vehicle was found around Cemetery Road yesterday, but there are no signs of Taylor. Cantrell says that family members say he does have some sort of physical issue. Anyone with information is asked to call the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. A Noxubee County woman is accused of using her car to hit a four-wheeler their ex-boyfriend was on. 29-year-old Jasmine Calhoun is charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault and 1 count of malicious mischief. Her bond is set at just over $10,000. Captain Vance Phillips says that a vehicle versus four-wheeler call came into the department last night from the Cedar Creek area. He says Calhoun was driving when she rammed the ATV off the road and into a fence there. Phillips says the ex-boyfriend and another woman, they were both on the four-wheeler at the time. Deputies believe this all stemmed from a fight that had happened earlier. The crash landed all 3 people in the hospital with minor injuries. Vance says witnesses helped identify Calhoun as a suspect.
Some people around the community, by this being a small community, people now, notify the department of who did what and where their whereabouts would be at.
Calhoun was taken into custody after she was released from the hospital. And now we're going to turn things over to our legal expert, Jeff Hosford. Now, Jeff, we hear people being charged with simple and aggravated assault all the time. What is the difference between those two?
The main difference is the severe bodily injury or harm. Typically, aggravated assault causes some injury like a broken bone or shooting where there's some type of injury that's internal. Or of words, it can be a fist fight that doesn't result in injuries. Pushing, shoving, those kind of things are typically simple assault.
And there's different instances or different things that can constitute as a deadly weapon, especially when we're talking about an aggravated assault. What are some examples of a deadly weapon?
Basically, the most common example is a gun. Then you have rifles. You also have things like knives, brass knuckles. Those kind of things are common examples, but people can also make any item that could result in a likelihood of severe bodily harm a deadly weapon. That could be a car, a brick, a rock. Any one of those items could definitely be considered a deadly weapon if used wrongly by the wrong person.
All right, Jeff Hosford with us today, giving us some legal tips there. Jeff, we thank you for being with us this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
All right, another news tonight. An Oktibbeha County man faces a sexual battery charge after being accused of attacking a woman on Friday. 41-year-old Tyrone Cork surrendered Tuesday afternoon to Oktibbeha County deputies. Investigators say Cork attacked the victim at a Highway 12 home in the Bradley community. Cork fled the scene before deputies arrived. The victim was treated at Oktibbeha County Hospital for injuries received in the assault. Cork's bond is set at $10,000. Oxford police are working to find out who created a bogus Facebook account using the name of Captain Hildon Sesmas. Citizens were calling to complain about the racist and negative tone of some of the posts on the fake account. The early investigation proves the Facebook account is not connected to Sesams, the department, or anyone connected to the city. Facebook and Oxford Police Department are working together to track down the third party responsible for making up that fake account. Changes are happening at Palmer Home. The children at the Columbus location are moving to Hernando. There are already 6 cottages at the campus there in Hernando, and apparently there are plans to build more additional construction. Calls for classrooms and a gym with rooms for therapies and counseling. Now, Columbus children will move to that location at the end of this school year, and the thrift shop and administrative offices are expected to remain here in Columbus. President and CEO Drake Bassett says moving is what's in the best interest of the kids.
This is part of a larger plan to expand more services to children who need them. We made the announcement, but we also spoke to staff and Children First and explained the process. And one of the reasons we did that was so that we could go ahead and take the time that we need over the next few months to make sure that the transition goes well.
Palmer Home got its start in Columbus more than a century ago. In this part of the United States, we're pretty used to severe weather and the threat of tornadoes. Recent storms in the area is prompting folks to invest in storm shelters. Our Riley Livingston, she joins us live in the studio with more. Hey, Riley.
Hey, Scott. When installing a tornado shelter, the hope is to never have to use it. But the peace of mind has a lot of people adding the new addition.
When severe weather strikes, safety becomes a concern. And with recent storms tearing through Mississippi, more people are turning to personal storm shelters.
We're seeing a lot more homeowners and people just on their own saying, hey, I need to get one, or they're building a new home and deciding to put one inside their home. We see that a lot more than we used to in previous years.
FEMA has developed building regulations for shelters so they can better withstand the force of a tornado. Above ground shelters like Tina Hawkins are anchored into place either into the ground or a concrete pad.
Some sites they'll have a concrete pad where they're set on, and some pad locations there'll be just stone. Sometimes it's really just they'll take off the topsoil, and some sites take very little to no preparation, and then we basically install them. Depending on if they're on a concrete, we'll actually anchor them to the concrete slab, or if they're out in the just normal soil, we'll anchor them with anchors as well there.
Alan Lee thinks the reason more people are buying a safe room comes down to one emotion: fear.
I would have thought, many years ago before we had some of these strong storms hit the south, I used to listen to tones go off and go back to bed, but not today. We keep our eyes on it just to seem like they're more prevalent and more, they're stronger than they've been in the past, and I think there's a lot more people keen into that.
Lee and his family have seen the destructive force of a tornado. For him, the choice was easy.
Well, I want my family to be safe. I've got 2 kids, a spouse, and we got a 3x5 garage model, and we decided with that model just the fact that we don't have to go outside and get in it, and usually it didn't get so bad. We decided, hey, we're going to tough it out in the home if we got to go outside, so we decided to make something as close as possible to get into.
Lee says they are seeing an increase in people adding safe rooms when building new homes.
All right, thank you very much, Riley. Well, time now to toss things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson with a first look at our forecast. Hey, Keith.
Mild and breezy out there today. Scott, a live view at Durham's Pharmacy in Vernon. You can see the tree limbs whipping in the breezes. We've had some gusts over 30 miles per hour. Temperatures have climbed to the low 70s. It's been a struggle all day long to get into the low 70s, but now we are sustained wind about 20 with some higher gusts, again over 30. We are looking at some rain and storms back here in Louisiana, Arkansas. Now, it looks like it's coming our way. It is, but it's going to hold up a little bit. So the best chance of rain as we get into the late evening and the overnight, probably here, Oxford, Water Valley, Holly Springs, west and north. So most of us will not see any rain this evening. We'll just throw it in there later on, especially in the northwest. But breezy tonight, another chance for a few storms tomorrow, Scott. More on that in just a few minutes.
Well, we pulled some strings this week. Not one, but 2 local educators got a big surprise, and they both have a lot in common. You'll be able to hear it in the music. Renee Skinner explains in our Educator of the Week.
1 and 2 and ready and...
No matter what instrument it comes from, music is universal.
Music is one of the only activities that uses every type of thinking that a person can do. You're thinking about the physical things that you're doing, you're thinking about the stuff that you're hearing, you're responding to it.
It motivates me, even when I'm in a slumber mood, if I listen to music, it brings that bad part and makes it good.
But to Travis Metcalf and Ricky Brown, the best part is teaching it.
It's always a good feeling to see the things that you give the students and you see them use it to their benefit. And you see them become better from the stuff that you're giving them. That's always been a good feeling from day one. And it keeps me coming back.
Hands up. 2, 1, 2, ready, and...
Mr. Metcalf and Mr. Brown are band directors at the West Point Consolidated School District. Right now, they're getting this group ready for an upcoming concert.
Flutes, you should have your horns up at 5.
Today, they're working on some music that they will be going to competition with in April. So he's, working with them on that. So we're trying to break parts up so they can blend and get together good.
While the conductor conducts,
1, 2, ready, and...
Mr. Brown walks around checking each group to make sure they're playing in harmony.
We have to break the band down into sections and work out parts, and then after we work out parts, we put it all together.
Every now and then, someone hits a wrong note, and that can be a real bummer. One thing that's always on beat.
He's very strong where I'm weak, and I try to be strong where, where he's shortcomings. He's a good motivator.
The tempo of these two educators.
We're fraternity brothers, then after that we're band brothers, so, and he's doing an awesome job, he helps me out a lot.
Which is why we figured two excellent band directors.
Y'all have been nominated as the Teacher of the Week.
Always better than one.
To nominate your favorite teacher, just visit our website, WCBI.com. Well, two celebrities at the center of a college admissions scandal. Up next, why more fallout is expected. Stay with us.
WCBI's Educator of the Week is brought to you by Food Giant, where your neighbors are the owners. You're watching WCBI's News at 5.
Welcome back, everyone. The FBI says actress Lori Loughlin is in custody and is expected to appear in a Los Angeles courtroom today. She is one of dozens of wealthy parents who are facing criminal charges for allegedly trying to cheat or bribe their children's way into elite colleges. Emmy winner Felicity Huffman was also named in the scandal. Chris Martinez reports from Los Angeles.
With the man at the center of a massive college bribery scandal cooperating with authorities, more fallout is expected in the weeks and months ahead. College admissions consultant William Singer pled guilty Tuesday. Prosecutors say wealthy parents paid him millions to guarantee their children got into top colleges.
All of them knowingly conspired with Singer and others to help their children either cheat on the SAT or ACT and or buy their children's admission to elite schools through fraud.
The 33 parents named in the indictment are accused of paying an estimated $25 million in bribes. Among them, Desperate Housewives star Felicity Huffman, who allegedly paid $15,000 so a test administrator could boost her daughter's college entrance exam score. Her husband, actor William H. Macy, was in court with her as she was charged with conspiracy and posted a $250,000 bond. Full House star Lori Loughlin is also facing conspiracy charges. She and her husband allegedly paid $500,000 to have their two daughters labeled as recruits to the USC crew team, even though neither played the sport.
I think the parents are facing serious time, and perhaps what I mean by that is prison time.
They could go to jail for this?
We're talking the parents.
Yeah.
On CBS This Morning, legal analyst Ricky Kleeman discussed the possible consequences for the parents.
People are so angry all over the country about this case.
Yeah.
So the parents need to be punished severely in order for there to be deterrence.
Prosecutors say there isn't a separate college admission system for the wealthy, and there won't be a separate criminal justice system either. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
At least 9 athletic coaches were also charged, but no students were charged. Prosecutors say in many cases the students were unaware because parents wanted them to think they were admitted on their own merit.
Many of us won't see any rain or storms tonight, but there will be a chance for a few more rain showers and storms tomorrow, perhaps a few strong storms as well. This is the last rain chance for a while. Your full forecast is next.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Some fast-moving clouds, a little bit of sun here in downtown Louisville, Mississippi. That's our Alpha Insurance camera. We'll do a little Skycam tour, overcast in Columbus. And we're looking at mainly cloudy conditions in Tupelo right now, but that's the way it looks here. Let's go to Cheyenne, Wyoming. You don't really see anything because that is wind-driven snow. A blizzard developing up here across the high plains. The center of it here in western Kansas, this is what we call one of those bomb cyclones, really rapid pressure losses. Drops here as we've gone throughout the last 24 hours. But of interest, look at the lightning strikes and some of this activity. Very vigorous is that rain and on the northern side of it, snow up there across the high plains. Now we have the southern fringe of it here, rain showers and storms coming our way. But the wind field with this thing, this is really the big story across, let's just say 75% of the lower 48. We've got those winds here because of that system in Kansas, and we've got gusts 50, 60, 70 miles per hour out there in the high plains. Not as bad here, but still gusting over 30. Temperatures have warmed into the low 70s where we saw a little bit more sun today. Temperatures spiked into the mid to upper 70s. Now for this evening, as you head on out, no real worries for the next couple of hours. 70s, then some 60s all night long. The best chance for some showers and storms later tonight, especially in the northwest. So most of us will not see any rain tonight, but this is 10 o'clock this evening. There could be a little bit of rain up here, Grenada, Water Valley, Oxford. The best chance for any showers or some storms. Some of those could be on the gusty side, but at this point it looks like the severe weather threat will stay just to our northwest. That's certainly good news. Tomorrow morning, though, fairly cloudy, not too active. As we get into the afternoon, we'll start to bubble up some showers and storms. And once again, there could be some strong to severe storms around, but the upper level support will be pulling away tomorrow. We'll still have the cold front around, so hence the rain chance, but severe weather outbreak tomorrow, not going to happen. Can't rule out some damaging wind gusts, and in this general setup, you can never rule out a spin-up tornado or something, but at this point, the threat looks relatively minor compared to where we have been, but we're just going to throw that in the forecast. It's going to be breezy as well, south to southwest winds 15 to 25 with some higher gusts. Temperatures will get back into the 70s. The front will move on through tomorrow night. Nice weather, a series of high pressure systems coming on down, and that means lots of sun starting Friday. Check it out. Here's your AccuWeather 7-day forecast. 60 variably cloudy on Friday, mostly sunny this weekend, 50 Saturday, 60 Sunday. Pretty nice, mostly sunny Monday and Tuesday, and a good chunk of Wednesday too.
Well, the Bulldogs and the Rebels have officially arrived in Nashville. A live report from the Music City is coming up next in sports.
Been up for a long time.
One, two, three, four, five, six. Tom, blah, 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 blah.
WCBI sports coverage of the SEC basketball tournament is brought to you by Wade Incorporated. Bank First, a better way to bank. And visit Columbus, the city that has it all.
The SEC men's basketball tournament officially begins today, but for Ole Miss and Mississippi State, the action really won't begin until tomorrow. Ole Miss facing off against Alabama at 6 p.m. tomorrow, and following that game, hopefully at 8:30, will be the Bulldogs against either Texas A&M or Vanderbilt. As we wait for the action to take place, WCBI Sports' Tom Emmel joins us live from Nashville with more.
Courtney, we're just about a half hour before the tip-off for the beginning of the 2019 SEC Men's Basketball Tournament. Georgia and Missouri are game one, but Ole Miss and Mississippi State will have to wait until Thursday before they tip off their experience here in Nashville. We were able to catch up with Ole Miss a little earlier today. Got in some practice reps. Kermit Davis saying everyone is healthy, that being the most important. But for Ole Miss taking on the Alabama Crimson Tide. The Crimson Tide were able to beat Ole Miss in the regular season 74-53 in Tuscaloosa. In that game, Ole Miss actually held Alabama to a worse field goal percentage, but the Crimson Tide were able to beat the Rebels with the hustle plays, offensive rebounds, and turnovers. Kermit Davis saying the Crimson Tide present a tough matchup for being a 10 seed.
They just out-toughed us, pretty much the whole game. I think they had like 20 offensive rebounds, things like that. They just made the tough, hard plays, during the game, and the score showed it.
Toughness is just a part of the game. That's something that you can focus on. That's something that you can change within yourself. So, don't get outworked and bring your best A game tomorrow.
Really, the only game all year long. In the second half, we weren't very competitive. I mean, it really was, and attribute that to Alabama. They're talented, they're physical, big guards, and so it'll be a tough matchup for us.
No Mississippi State here in Nashville today. The Bulldogs foregoing its practice time today, so the next time we'll see the Bulldogs is tomorrow in action. But we'll have much more from Ole Miss coming up at 6. Reporting here in Nashville, Tom Ebel for WCBI Sports. Courtney, back to you.
Thank you, Tom. And like he said, we will be bringing you all of the information, the highlights, and more from Ole Miss and Mississippi State coming tomorrow. So make sure you follow us here at WCBI Sports. That's it from us. Your last look is coming up after the break. Stick with us.
Hey, y'all, we're also in tonight's Take a Look at This by Jeremy Roth. That again?
Can you say that?
30 back, okay. All right, do not try this at home. I repeat, do not try this at home. A woman in Ukraine has created a workout on a spin bike named Spin Bike Fit. As you see here, it combines the challenge of spinning and the grace of gymnastics. Her clips have attracted thousands of views and most likely thousands of sore derrieres. Mine's sore just watching it.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that, just saying.
No, me either.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Keith. We'll see you back here at 6.